Hi art students, it's time for art and let's start off with Godzilla of the Week. Today, I don't have a Godzilla monster per se, but he's very similar. This is an Ultraman monster and he's part of my model collection and he's about the same size. So this is an Ultraman monster and this guy's name is Baltan. And he was designed by the same Godzilla designer back in the day. I forgot his name. But he did the Godzilla movies, and then he also did a TV show called Ultraman, and Ultraman became super popular back in in the 60s. So that's like 60 years ago, and it was a really popular show back in the day because they didn't have a lot of color television. Like it was black and white back then, and this was like one of the first color shows for kids, and they're big monsters and they're fighting, so you can imagine how awesome this was back in the 60s. We didn't have fancy computer animation. You can see his shoes. You can totally tell it was a guy in a suit. So he's got like this leotard on, he's got this big helmet on and these big like pincher arms, but he was a pretty popular monster and he fought Ultraman. So that's it. This guy's name is Baltan. This is a model. And I really like the series, that's why I got him. Oh, he's pretty cool. Not as cool as Godzilla. But I'm running out of Godzillas. Okay, so let's get on to the art portion of the video. Hi, remote 6th graders. We're going to continue working on our forest trees. This is what it's kind of going to look like when we're finished. We've cut out our trees. We're going to cut them out today. You know, we're gonna add some chalk near the top so it looks a little like clouds, except we're going to do it a little differently than that. And then we are going to next week we're going to like draw some kind of faint trees in the background. So for today, I had a smaller paper that I was using for our demonstration. So here it is. Yours is bigger, which is good. So just use your whole paper. This is what we did last week. We had these trees, and so the first thing is we've got to cut them out. So I'm going to cut them out. And when you cut them out, you can kind of be rough on the bottom. And then you kind of, I don't know, you're basically going to cut it out. But you want to have like kind of a rough edge on the bottom. So let me quickly cut these out. Here. I'll cut out one at a time. And then, of course, we're going to glue it down. So if you have Elmer's glue, works good. Glue stick might work. I don't know. Okay, I'm cutting it out. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just cut it simply, and then I'm going to cut those ruffles. This will save us some time. You don't want to watch me cut this. Okay, so let's see here. So let me tighten this up. Okay. So I cut this smooth to save some time, but then I'm gonna I wonder if I can tear it. Tearing might work good too. You want it to be kind of rough. You can cut it. Whatever you want, but you don't want it to be like perfectly straight like that. If you're careful, tearing it looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. That looks better than just cutting it. But like here I cut it. Here, I'm going to tear it. I think it looks better. So I leave it up to you. You can cut it and try to cut jagged shapes, or you can just try to very carefully try to tear it. And if you tear your tree, too bad. Okay, so there's my first tree. I'm going to put it right here. And then I'm going to get my other tree. So I'm going to cut that out simply, and then I am going to tear the bottom. So I'm going to cut it just kind of simply. And then I'm going to tear the edges. Well, you can't even see. Boy, I got a small area here.
small area to show you what I'm doing. My camera's in the way. Believe it or not, there's a camera in front of me. You're like, tell us that every week, Mr. Smith. I know, but it's really annoying, actually. It's hard to work. It's right here. There's a camera in front of my face. Alright, let's see here. So I'm cutting this out. I'm just doing this fast. Take your time to cut this out neatly. You can pause the video and just cut everything out neatly. I'm just doing this kind of fast so that you don't have to watch me cut this out for forever, right? Okay, so I got it. So again, I like the tearing, so I'm going for it. So here I kind of cut it out, basically, and now I'm just going to very carefully just kind of tear the edges a little bit. Just a little. Just so it's not like a triangle, right? So it has kind of like, and now here on the bottom I can kind of tear it. You want to try to tear different little bits. I don't know. There. So it's not just like a nice even tear. You want it to be kind of, and just be careful. You can cut it. You don't have to tear it. I'm tearing it because it looks pretty good. It's probably more fun to tear. I don't know. Just be careful. I don't want to hear any excuses like I tore my thing. We'll just glue it. You can glue it down anyways. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so now I want to glue them down. So this is going to simulate the back. This is the back of my original page. Since I'm doing a smaller one, this is my page. Yours is going to be like, yours is huge. Yours is like a big paper like this. Right? So yours is big. Mine is, the sample I'm showing you is smaller. Okay, so I'm going to glue these down. Glue. All right, that's easy enough. Let's see here. Now remember, if it gets kind of lumpy like this, you can use the tip of your orange to kind of smear it around so it's not just like a big lump. It kind of makes it a little less lumpy. I don't know, I'll find out. Glue stick will probably work good, but you got to use a lot of glue stick if you can do it. Don't forget to get like little tips and stuff. Oh, you didn't even see that, like near the top there. All right, here we go. All right. I'm going to glue that down. Let's see, do I have room for my other tree? Yeah. If one tree has to go behind the other, I don't think you'll have this problem, but put your smaller tree behind the other tree if you have to. I think I got enough space. Okay, I'm going to glue this one down. Alright. Okay, I'm going to smear it a little. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this down. Alright. Okay, not bad. Okay, so now we want to do some clouds. Let's see if I can adjust my camera a little bit so we can see the top. You can see it. Alright, I guess that's it. Okay, so you don't have a ton of space for clouds. Originally, I did it all white. Let's see, can you see it? But now we're actually gonna try to do some clouds, kind of like how we did on that painted postcard. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, so you have white. The question is, I don't remember what I sent home. Did I send home chalk? Or did I send home this? I forgot. I don't know. I'll do both. Okay. Let's do the chalk. If you have a how do you know it's chalk? It like rubs off on your fingers and it's like chalky, right? If it doesn't rub off and it's this stuff, this is fine. You won't be able to blend it as much. So, but that's okay. I'll show you both here. But if your oil pastel is dirty, then you want to just clean it off on another sheet of paper. See how like that like yucky mark kind of came off? Until it's pretty clear, you just kind of mark it off. You can kind of turn it around. You turn around your, get all that gunk off, and that's pretty good. This, usually it's pretty clean. You can do the same thing. Okay. We'll do both. Let's try this first. This we can actually, so we're going to do this kind of like how we did our painted postcard, our alligator postcard. So let's draw some clouds. So here we go. I'm going to go, now what's it look like? Mashed potatoes. So it's going to be kind of like round, 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 and then you kind of come back, round, maybe 2 over here. Okay. Now here you want to, you don't want to color the whole thing in white. Why? Because clouds are, sometimes they're like they're see-through. They're, you know, it's like vapor and stuff, right? So you're just going to build it up as if the sun is shining down on the left. So you're not going to totally like blend all this stuff. Maybe a little bit, but you're just going to kind of leave some, maybe a little bit here. Kind of like that. And then we're going to blend it a little. So let's see. Now when you blend it, don't like totally blend it super hard, because what will happen is it'll disappear. And you can kind of blend it beyond your cloud. Like you don't want to see this outline. Maybe kind of blend it like at an angle a little bit. You want it to be kind of like transparent, like a cloud, like it's like, wow. Okay. But what's going to happen is you want to leave some of this blue in here because that looks like a shadow. All right. But if you blend it, and you can maybe blend it, you can kind of make it soft. Okay, but not too much, because what's going to happen is if you blend it too much, it'll disappear. If it does start to disappear, what you can do is you can just add some more chalk. So you're going to go like this. There, you can kind of see it. You still want to have some of that highlight. Remember, the sun is shining down. It's not going to be like a total line either. It's going to be like more like an area, kind of like that. So mashed potatoes, like 1, 2, 3, kind of come around, maybe 2 over here. Blend it. Don't make the whole thing white, right? Just mostly on the left, and then you'll add a little more white. And your cloud might look slightly different. Okay, that's pretty good. And then you're probably going to add another one over here. So I'm going to do another shape. Maybe it's like behind this tree. Right? Same thing. So it's going to have some shadows on the left. Maybe some shadows over here. And I want to blend this a little. Let's see here. So this ain't so bad. The thing though is, like, when you shade it, when you blend it too much, it disappears. So just remember, you're going to have to add it. Got to add some more. There, that looks better. And then you can add, you don't want to add too many, but maybe a little bit. I don't know, maybe a little bit over here. Kind of blend it. I don't like that. Okay. You could, yeah, that's about it. If you wanted to add a little more up here, you could, but that's basically it. Chalk. Okay, let's try oil pastel. So here's, let's try here. Okay, let's imagine, here, can I make this go away? No, not really. Here. So we don't notice it. Okay. So here's the, let's try oil pastel. Oil pastel doesn't blend. Let's try it though. So same thing. If I, here, let me draw my trees. Let's see. So I got my tree here. Tree. All right. Here's my other tree. Okay. So now I want to add my clouds here. So let's try it. Okay, so I start kind of the same way. So I got like three humps or bumps, whatever, kind of like mashed potatoes. I'm going to come back around, and then maybe 2 over here. Okay. Yeah, see, this doesn't blend very. The nice thing about it is it's not, chalk gets all over the place. This stuff's, if you're careful, it's not as messy. Okay, but same thing. So I kind of want to shade a little in here. And this is on the left, right? And so you can maybe use circular motions. You don't have to press down super hard yet. Okay. And then maybe you want to add like another bump. Remember how we kind of did that like on our painted postcards? So it's like we kind of got some more bumps here. And then here's the thing. We don't want this to look like a line. Like it's an outline of our cloud, right? But like clouds don't have like an outline. So here's the thing. We want to keep some of that blue in there, but maybe we just want to add a little bit. I guess we're going to make the line a little thicker. I don't know. We don't want it to look like a line, like a thin drawn line. That might help. Okay, let's see if I can blend this. I really doubt I can blend this. Oh, not really. It maybe a teeny bit. It's not the same. But the nice thing is it's a little cleaner. So how are you going to make it look more blendy? Well, you could go super light. So like super light, like barely press down, maybe draw some line. Like it's almost like you can draw some lines but like super lightly. Can you even see it? Super lightly. Looks kind of like the wind is blowing it. And then we can also go a little, we can press down a little harder and get more of a highlight here. So it's like a little, well, it doesn't get that much. Let's see here. I like this because it's cleaner. It's not as messy, but I think we probably got better results from the chalk. So I don't know I forgot what I gave you. You're like, wow, how come you don't remember, Mr. I don't know. I don't remember. Just don't. That's why I'm showing you both. Maybe you have a white oil pastel at home and you're like, forget this chalk stuff. I'm just going to use that oil pastel. Great. I'm just showing you both. So same thing. I kind of did an outline first, and then I want to remember the light's coming from the left, the sun. You're like, how do you know? It is. For our picture, it is. And then I'm going to kind of build up some highlight only on the left, not the whole thing, Then I'm going to add like another bump in there, kind of like mashed potatoes, like another thing. Okay. All right. Then I want to very lightly kind of build up like these, like I don't want this to look like a drawn line. So I'm going to go in there and kind of maybe fill it in, maybe go lightly around it, real lightly. Like you can barely see it. And but it kind of blend it, kind of like wind. Or what happens is when you look real close, they look like lines, but from a distance, it kind of blends. That's the trick. So I'm going to kind of go light lines. I'm kind of like light lines, and then I kind of want to build it up here, little fuller. You can't see it. My hand's in the way. Let me try this. I can try to blend it a little. It doesn't really blend. It kind of, but don't go crazy and try to. It's just not going to work. It kind of puts it together. It blends it like a teeny bit. But you probably will like it, and then you can add some more white if it gets a little dark. And then just little light lines. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Yeah, not as good as this one. I could kind of make this go off the page. Okay. So that's that. So let's see what we got here. Here's what I did in chalk. Yeah, the chalk looks nicer. I think I sent you guys chalk. So chalk or oil pastels. If I sent you both, pick which one you like. We can use a little bit of this on our tree too, but not a lot. Like just a couple highlights. We did this last time. We did. It's gonna make your white green, but you can always clean it the way I showed you, like on a scratch paper. I wouldn't put too much white on. You can just put a couple highlights in there. The trick is don't do too much. You want to see a couple lines there, like you can see a couple of those lines. But if you do too many white lines, it'll be weird. It's like, it's not snow trees. I mean, it's like mountain trees. It's forest trees, right? There. Just a couple if you want. But don't do too many. Look at that. There's like a little, okay, whoop. There. That's it. Well, so we talked about very carefully doing these clouds. Don't worry if they're not perfect. Remember, you kind of draw it like mashed potatoes. It's like 1, 2, 3. You kind of shade it kind of only on the left, kind of rounded. And then you kind of add like another one. I added like another one in here. And then you try to use real light lines to kind of blend it. And then you press down a little harder where the highlight is brighter. And then you draw very light lines. See them? See him in there? See those little light lines? You draw those real light lines to kind of help blend it. Like you're almost like marking the blend. Like you can't blend it with your finger. Like you have to kind of do it lightly, and then you a little more pressure and it gets brighter. You kind of build it up. But try your best. I mean, clouds are kind of tough. So whatever you, I mean, as long as you have clouds, I'm fine with it. So that's that. Next time we're gonna draw some trees in here. So we'll save that for next time, and then maybe we'll draw some. We'll do some. Next time we'll do some. What am I trying to say? Grass. So this is what we'll do next time. So don't start it yet. Wait for me. We got another week. So we'll notice how it's not all fully colored in yet either. That's because these trees are in the distance, and so they're a little lighter. Now these are like super light. These are like way lighter than these trees. So it's exaggerated, but it does feel like they're in the distance. Like those trees are like far away, and it's almost like fog is in between these trees and those trees, and so these trees are like in the back are like super light, and that's kind of the atmospheric effect, right? So I've talked about that a little bit, atmospheric effect. This is exaggerated, but you know it's artistic too, so it's kind of hinting at those trees. It feels like there's a heavy fog there, probably more heavy than there would be normally. But that's the technique. So anyways, that's it. So that's enough for today. I hope you had fun. Oil pastel, white, or chalk white. So chalk white, whatever you prefer. The chalk is easier for blending. You can blend it more, but it's a little messier. So whatever you prefer. The other one's not as messy, but I don't remember what I sent you home. I sent you one of those. I sent you one kind of white. That's it, though. So I hope you had fun. I'll see you next week. And eventually I'm going to see you in Mr. Vanderdusen's remote art class. So I'll see you guys, and we'll talk about this, and maybe I'll kind of demonstrate probably drawing these trees. Even though you may have already done it, I'll probably demonstrate maybe doing a cloud or doing a tree. We'll do something like that. So I'll see you next time. Have a great week. Talk to you later. Bye.